If you are really, really good, I'll make sure your boss knows. The GM called me the next day that you gave this really good review on this person. I said, yes. And if you let her leave, I'll snatch her from you. Focus on that one specific skill. Don't do too many, because you've got to be known for one thing. If you want to get into freelancing, and if you have a full-time job, do both at the same time. Do, work full-time, but freelance part-time.
Are Gen Z employees really job hoppers? Why do they not have loyalty? And I just want to add one more question. Are they finding something else?
Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the A to Z podcast, where we talk about life, career, and everything in between for Gen Zs. Today's topic is something that has been a major part of my life, and if you know me, I've been a freelancer ever since I graduated. I have officially 3 months of corporate experience before I quit and went into freelancing full-time. And today we're going to discuss this topic, and together with me today, I have the CEO of the Virtual Connexion, Izzat. All right, so Izzat, welcome to the show. Before we start, can you tell me a bit about Virtual Connexion and what you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Alton. So the Virtual Connexion is basically a recruitment firm that specializes in permanent placements plus also freelance staffing.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we say freelance staffing, it's actually virtual assistants, digital nomads. Those consider freelancing as well. Yeah.
Starting any business, even like for the Virtual Connexion, you start with something that you solve for yourself. It's a problem that you solve yourself.
Yeah.
So what was that a story or the problem that actually led you to start the Virtual Connexion?
Interesting. Because I actually wanted to find a freelancer on Upwork.com.
Okay.
Yeah. And at that time, I had another venture at the time. I was in tourism. And I was looking for, and this was 2010, 2011. And I was looking for someone to develop my website.
Right.
And if you ask anyone, IT stuff, where do you go to? People will say, go to people in India. Because
Yeah.
they're very good in
Right.
IT stuff, tech stuff. So we advertised, and a few companies bid for the project, and we settled on this one company from India. Now, the project went fine. They said initially, okay, we'll take about 6 months to do it, but in the end, they took 9 months, which is not a big deal. But after that, we noticed that the thing about web developing is you get paid one time. You develop one time, you get paid one time.
Correct.
Right? Now, I think they probably got a bit creative in trying to get recurring income now. So what happened was, every 6 months, we noticed that there was a pattern in the sense of, hey, there's bugs, there's virus in our website. So we paid them, right, to try and solve that. And then it got a bit consistent. So I'm thinking, we should solve this. Something's wrong here. Something's amiss. So then I asked someone, a relative, to try and look it into the backend. And he said, yes, there's a bug, there's a virus in your backend. My second question is it intentional? And he said, yes, it's intentional. Oh, so they got creative. They intentionally put the virus in to make us pay for them to solve it out again.
It's kind of like Netflix or YouTube, like putting ads. So the ads are the virus, so you have to pay to get rid of them.
Exactly. So I thought, if I'm facing this kind of issue, I'm sure there are other companies facing this kind of issue as well. So the idea of TVC was to come in, become a VA agency or a freelance staffing agency that has freelancers where we would vet those freelancers, quality freelancers, so that the clients will not worry about the quality ever again.
Right. So I like that. So with Upwork, is usually you deal with yourself. The platform is just a platform.
Correct.
But with TVC, you guys come in and there's a human touch. There's that whole verification process for both sides, for even clients and the freelancer themselves.
Yeah.
And I think you started this TVC about how long back?
Actually, okay. So our company started in 2011, but we started as an executive search model. The freelance staffing idea actually came about just before the pandemic.
Okay. So you have seen the whole transition from physical work to the gig economy, and now
Yes.
with this being thriving, what are your thoughts about the current state of the gig economy?
I think more and more people. Okay, so let me start by saying that this business, or rather this model, is very huge when in the West,
Right, correct.
in US, in Europe. Digital nomads travel all over the world to do work, to become a freelancer full time. Um, in this part of the world, especially in Malaysia, it's still very new.
Yes.
You know, the whole digital nomad, the whole working as a freelancer full time is still new. It still needs educating,
Right.
right? How do you transition from a full time employee to become a full time freelancing?
Mhm.
You know, we've had people who have been in the corporate line for years, even up to senior manager, VP level, and say, look, um, I really want to explore this freelancing world because working full time is just bad for my health.
Right.
You know, it's taking a toll on my health. I'm working late nights. I'm working weekends. I really want to explore this freelancing world, this flexibility, this work remotely, work from home thing.
Mhm.
So how can I do that? You know, so it's growing. It's really growing.
I think so. For one thing that I encountered over the past few years is they treat freelancers like part-time workers.
Mm.
So if you go to a restaurant, let's say Nando's or whatever, the rate's about 15 to $20 an hour
Mhm.
for part-time, or any retail shop. Let's put it that way, any retail shop.
Mm.
And they look at freelancers, regardless they're doing graphic designing, web designing, they're looking at that as the benchmark.
Yeah.
All right. Now a lot of things have changed, but I think as more people come into workspace as call it professional freelancers, they bring their professional experience in. This actually brings up the whole gig economy as well, right? I think the next question is, most Gen Zs now, I don't think so they want to do like retail work anymore, right? Weekends, I want to do freelancing where I can work from anywhere, cafes.
Yes.
Right. And I would like to talk about this. So your recent post you actually posted from the Gen Z point of view. So are Gen Z employees really job hoppers? Why do they not have loyalty? And I just want to add one more question. Are they finding something else?
Okay. Okay. Can I address your previous point first? Because you brought up something very interesting earlier, when people compare freelancers to, say, part-time retail work,
Yeah.
right? And we've had companies that say, "Hey, look, how come your freelancers are this rate, right? Whereas people who work at McDonald's or people who work at Nando's are this rate." And our answer is, look, they're two different skill sets,
Yeah.
two different industries.
Correct.
Yeah. So when you talk about freelancers, they are more, I wouldn't say, no disrespect to people who work in retail, but people who work as freelancers or VAs or digital nomads, they do work on professional set skills. Like, you're a podcaster,
Right.
or you're a video editor, or you're a content writer. And these are skills that, you can't compare it to retail pricing, let's say, right? So you can't compare the two. So yeah, that's one issue that needs educating. Some companies. So going back to Gen Z,
Yeah.
I think Gen Zs now are looking for specific things. So one of the things that you asked was, are they job hoppers?
Yeah.
A lot of companies have problems in retaining Gen Zs. They would think that, okay, they look at the CV. Oh, you're in this company for 9 months, you're in this company for 1 year, maybe less than 1.5 years. You change, right? Why did you change jobs? And to the HR or to the company, that's not a satisfactory answer, whatever they give, right? Now, we have to flip that and say, why do Gen Zs do that? Yeah. What is it that they want? What is it that they're looking for that Gen X's or Gen Y's do differently, right? Gone are the days of probably my time or my parents' time where a person stays with a company for 10, 15 years,
Right.
right? That's totally gone now. Gen Zs are looking for companies that can serve them in a way, right? We're all looking for that. What is it that fit my lifestyle? Um, when we interview a lot of Gen Zs, right, the first thing that comes to mind is, can this company provide hybrid work or remote work? They're looking for that. Yeah. Um, and it's like saying to someone, you can't have social media or you can't have your tech. You can't say that to the Gen Zs now, right?
Okay.
They're looking for that, and you can't run away from it, right? So you've got to give, when if a company offers a job to a Gen Z, whether it's permanent, whether it's freelancing, you've got to offer them something they want, right? Now, number one, they want that flexibility,
Correct.
right? Number two, they're also looking for, um, you have to allow them to do multiple things because they've got a lot of things on their mind. They want to maybe work for 2 or 3 companies. They want to study as well. They want to upskill themselves.
Correct.
Yeah. So we have a couple of Gen Zs that are working for us as well, and we allow them to do the studies. So they're doing the degrees. Um, they're also working with multiple companies. Now, what we get on social media is, one question is, don't you think that doesn't show loyalty? And I flip that and say, to me, if I can offer that to them, they'll stay with me.
Actually, at the end of the day, it's looking at what both sides want.
Right.
You can't expect loyalty from one side when you're not providing, something in return.
Right.
It's not blind loyalty.
Exactly.
And I think another thing is when you come to the point of loyalty, right? We have seen in the previous podcast we have talked about this also. We have seen that loyalty does not get rewarded, right? Especially in long. If when company comes to the bottom line, they're going to fire you just like that.
Yes.
Right. So how can, at the end of the day, business is business. We understand there's profits and everything we need to maintain. But how can companies, let their employees, not necessarily only Gen Zs, feel like they won't be on the cutting block, or I am here to protect your interests?
Ask them what they want
Straight up.
from day one. Ask them what they're looking for, right? In that interview, or in that first interview, and you like the person's skills, the person's character, the person's personality, you've got to ask them, what's your goal?
Right.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for flexibility? Are you looking to, okay, other than this job, are you having anything on the side? Are you studying? Ask them what they're doing currently. And what if I can offer you all that you can do at the same time? Now, when we interviewed our Gen Zs, we tell them, what are you doing currently? Are you still studying? What if I allow you to continue to work, continue to study? And also, we had someone who was actually studying and also become an intern for an MP at the same time.
Oh.
So what she did was, she gave us a timetable of when she's free and when she's not free. When she'll be at the parliament, fine, we won't disturb her. When she's studying, we gave her time off for to study. Although there was one time where she did do our work and did not tell me that that she had exams. And I'm like, you didn't tell me you have exams. I would have given you that time off, right? But she said, no, the work's important. I just want to do the work as well. I said, okay, but next time tell me that, when's your study time? I'll give you the time off.
I think I relate to her. I think this person. We understand work needs to get done, right? So as long as you can show me that you manage my interests, I will go above and beyond to manage your interests as well. And if it's something within we can manage it, we will do it.
Correct.
And I know you talk about interviews. So I'm actually very interested about this is, other than all these things that you ask, what are things that you're looking when it comes to hiring, let's say for freelancers? What are the characteristics or some personality that you're looking for?
I look for a person that honesty is one.
Okay.
Clarity in the sense of there's no fluff.
Mhm.
Yeah. Tell me what you want. Tell me so that I know. Tell me what your goals are. The other one, as a freelancer, we're looking for those that have dealt with clients. So in a sense of when we do our hiring process, we look at those that can communicate with client,
Mhm.
can give quick feedback to the client, so it doesn't delay the communication. So
Right.
one of the things that we sort of test is whether their emails or the communication is late.
Okay.
So we do have a timeline of when a buffer time,
Right. Then you're supposed to
3
reply
days
by.
or 5 days or
Correct.
things like that. So then we test them on all that.
Mhm.
So we do test them on communication, we test them on the client skills, the customer service skills, client servicing skills. That's important.
Right.
Mm.
And I think so. Another thing that I have been asked before
Mm.
is, where do you work? And how do you manage your productivity? This is not a freelance client, but this is something that came up, between friends, because I've been freelancing for quite some time. How do you manage productivity as a freelancer? Because at home, I understand this firsthand.
Yeah.
It is not the most productive place to work. I
Yes.
don't work from home. I work
Yes.
from an office.
Yes.
Right. Even cafes. So like in the hierarchy of productivity, I would say I have an office, which is my most productive place.
Yeah.
Cafe, home is dead last.
Correct.
Right. So
Correct.
how do you address that?
Okay. So now our freelancers work from everywhere.
Mhm.
So they can work from home, work in cafes. What we've implemented recently is once a week or once in 2 weeks, we gather everyone together,
Mhm.
where we sit in a cafe, because sometimes, excuse me, you need a different environment.
Right.
Working at home, staring at the four same walls will be demotivating, will be boring. So sometimes they'll be like, "Hey, so and so, are you guys free? Let's work in a cafe."
Mhm.
And sometimes you're not working on the same projects,
Right.
right? So we have our staff that works on different projects, or we have other freelancers that come together as well. So we have this thing called the collaboration network, where we gather together once a week or once in 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and whoever comes, they come. It's no obligation,
Okay.
and we work together. And sometimes collaborations work there and then.
Oh, yeah.
So like, hey, Elton, you're a podcaster, right?
Right.
You and you teach people how to market themselves on podcasts, right?
Mhm.
Hey, I'm looking for this, right? And then there's some collaboration going on.
Yeah.
And this could happen between themselves. And we're like, fine, great.
Even though they're doing on different projects and
Yes.
everything, so
Yes.
it's just the human connection of being there,
Yes.
talking, sharing ideas. Hey,
Yes.
what do you do?
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Correct. And sometimes when you work with people who are not working on the same projects, it also motivates you. It's got this psychological thing.
It's the accountability factor.
Yes.
Seeing people working too. Say, okay.
Yeah.
At home, you see the bed, you see the TV.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Gone.
The distraction.
The distraction, right? So this actually does not exist. Like, let's say 5 years ago, this thing does not exist. But let's say we're looking into, this is a very new trend. What are some trends that you see probably an evolution in this gig economy or work from home that might affect even the corporate side of things?
Trends from the freelancer point of view, or from the company point of view?
And then let's do from a freelancer point of view first, and then we'll look into the company side.
Okay. So the trends is that number one, when we're talking about Gen Zs or Gen Xs that like to do freelancing, yeah, they don't like to be bogged down with just one thing.
Mhm.
They like to work on multiple things,
Right.
right? So they like to work on multiple projects because I guess they, it sort of excites them. You work on this client and this client and this company. It gives them that excitement of working on different companies, different industries. So we noticed that. We
Mhm.
noticed that freelancers like to work on multiple things at the same time. Um, and then uh, as a freelancer, they like to upskill themselves. Now, that's one thing that maybe in the past, maybe you didn't have the time to upskill yourself, or maybe it wasn't promoted by your employer.
Right.
But talking about freelancers, they love to upskill themselves. Whether it's AI or whether it's cybersecurity, they love to upskill themselves. Hence, they go to places like Udemy or Coursera to learn new things. So these are the trends that we see.
Yeah, let's just circle down this one thing. AI, everyone's talking about AI. Everything's revolved around AI. Well, okay, so I used to run a virtual assistant agency or so a couple of years back. AI took away probably more than 50% of what I'm supposed to do for my clients. How do you see AI affecting freelancing work going into the future?
Okay. AI will not affect freelancing. And I was just doing a research on this a few days back. AI will not affect freelancing as such. Why? Because AI will not take over the human part.
Okay.
AI is just a tool, right? So when you see, when you work with a content creator like yourself, or you need that human part, right?
Correct.
Or when you work with a content writer, you need that human part. AI will just assist, right? Will just make the work easier, the time to complete that work faster, but it will not take over that human element.
Right.
Now, as freelancers, we're still servicing the client. AI can never take over that. Right? You need to service the client. Client still wants that human touch, that service,
The trust,
the advice.
Yeah.
The trust,
relationship,
the advice. Like, okay, so as a podcaster, how should I do it? How should I position myself? Right? That's what they're going to ask you. So something that AI will not be able to take over.
I think because we have the context most of the time when we see. So that is on the freelancer side, right? So now I'm looking to trends where it affects probably the client side, because I think the most affected will be corporations.
Yeah.
Moving from physical to now, everyone's asking for hybrid work. You cannot not provide that. So what's the future for that?
It's a good question. You see, I think you watched on the news. Amazon let go of people.
Yeah.
Let 30,000 people off because of AI. People are scared, right? Because what's going to happen to my job and things like that. I think to me, in my perspective, for a company, AI will take over certain parts, but they still need the human element. Yeah. I think when Amazon did it, or when a few other companies did it, it was just a reason to sort of let go of people, because that's what tech companies do. They have this wave of the cycle of hiring thousands and letting go of thousands of people in the next 5 years. So I think the human element will not go away. But what the trend is how do we, and I was just talking to this with a couple of companies before this, is how do we implement AI into the processes of the company? But there are certain departments that you cannot use AI for. You still need human element.
Right.
You cannot use AI for sales, for business development, right? Because you need to service clients, right? You can perhaps use AI to do planning, to do your admin task, but it will not take over the entire organization now.
Right. So I think you advise a lot of corporations now also on this. So the Virtual Connection is not just only on freelancing, staffing, and everything. They actually are a full-fledged recruitment agency.
Yes.
Right. So how does actually having both sides of corporate and also freelancing actually help you, help your clients and also help the freelancer? How does this synergy work?
Okay. So when companies approach us,
Mhm.
one thing, as opposed to the other recruitment executive search firms, is that we offer that um, flexibility
Right.
of hiring. Now, what we do is we come in and advise. The first thing we do is we look at your organization and we see, okay, where at what stage is it at now,
Mhm.
right? And where can you use permanent staff, and where can you work with freelancers?
Mhm.
Now, where you use freelancers, you have that flexibility. When you expand, you have 30, 40 people. You don't have to increase on your overheads,
Right.
right? But there are some departments where you need to keep it in-house.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then we study, okay, which ones can we keep as a permanent full-time employment, and which departments can we have that flexibility? Then we advise them there, because I think gone are the days of the entire organization rely on just full-time staff.
Mhm.
It sort of limits them in terms of expansion,
Mhm.
because if you expand, you obviously have to spend more on overheads and things like
Yeah.
that, right? With freelance remote workers, you have that flexibility of you can hire 30, 40 staff, 50 staff
Mhm.
without spending that money, without expanding spending on overheads.
And I think another question that I think this is something that is interest of me is if you have some people who are actually working in-house that, they have to work in-house hours, they have that responsibility,
Mm,
and they see, hey, there's this whole group in my organization that is actually doing freelance, they're working from home.
right.
And then how do you actually address that kind of, because it's something that people would definitely take into consideration. Hey, why can they do it and I can't?
Okay. Then we have to tell the management that you've got to explain to that group of staff or department why is it that their work cannot be done remotely.
Mhm.
So I'll give you an example. Yeah, my wife works in a bank,
Right.
right? And when I compare some banking companies, I won't say who. So certain banks allow hybrid work.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, it depends on the department, right? So it could be legal, it could be this and that, whichever department that allows for remote work, for
Mhm.
hybrid work. Now there are some departments that, because of their sensitivity of the documents,
Mhm.
you can't work from home,
Yeah.
and they're
Like
not allowed to.
lawyers and all, where they have all your
Correct.
conveyancing and all those kind of
Correct.
litigation, you can't.
And they deal with physical documents. They
Mhm.
don't have it on digital
Yeah, soft copy.
formats and all that. So as a management, you've got to explain to that particular department
Mhm.
the reason that your department is still you still have to come in 5 days a
Mhm.
week. These are the reasons. And you've got to accept it now, because that's the way
That's your job.
that's your job lah.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, and I think let's touch on this because no matter how, this is a Gen Z podcast.
Mm.
And so for employers, we're
Mm.
looking at employers point of view first. What advice can you give to offer and attract top talents, especially in the Gen Z space, regardless is, full-time or even freelance workers?
Okay. What we've noticed currently and in the past, what's important firstly, yeah. Now, Gen Zs, I wouldn't want to use smarter, but they do research.
We are smarter.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, we are
There you go.
smarter.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry.
So, um, now what we've noticed in the past is that, okay,
Mhm.
and I just wrote this on LinkedIn recently, is that Gen Zs, before they accept an offer from a company,
Mhm.
what makes their decision whether to accept that offer is not necessarily the offer. It's not necessarily the money or the benefits, right? It's actually the reviews.
That's true. We
Yeah.
ask everybody, not only you search, you ask, hey,
Yes.
do you work here? Your friends that work here. We do a lot deep dive before we even get
Yes.
the job.
So it's like us wanting to go to a restaurant, right? So before we want to go to the restaurant, we look at reviews, we look at ratings. They do their research as well. The same thing comes to job hunting. Whether it's freelance job, whether it's full-time job, that's what they do. So they go to Glassdoor, they go to JobStreet, and they look at reviews. Now, a lot of the reviews are written by either current employees, but most are done by ex-employees, former employees, right? So my advice to companies is that you've got to take that seriously. Okay? Because we've seen companies, not the company doesn't want to give the offer. The company has given offers to 3 people, and 3 people rejected the offers. 3 candidates rejected the offer from the company. Why? Because they had so many negative reviews. Yeah. So if so that's important to them, the feedback. Now, companies will say, how do I improve this? How do I improve my reviews so that I'm attractive, so that I can attract more, right? I do an internal. Firstly, what you do is, and then we've advised companies on this. First thing, what you do is get the pulse of your current staff, whether remote, whether full-time, whether freelance. Get the pulse of your staff. So do a survey. Yeah, do a survey and ask them whether whether it's positive review, negative review, but accept it with an open mind. Yeah, and then ask them about how can I improve this. Be open to their feedback. Gen Zs love giving feedback, and you've got to
leverage on
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't do exit interviews and then put it in the drawer and don't do anything about it. Right. So you've got to be, number 1, be open about it. Number 2, act on it. Yeah. So, and then once you've got these reviews, you've got to get those current employees or former employees to try and get positive feedback. Now, one thing you can do is, one of the things that we ask one of the company is, do you do exit interviews? If they say yes, what do you do with it? Do you just store them away, or do you do something about it? Now, companies, where even if a person leaves the company, you can still make them leave with a positive feeling.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So make them feel, okay, thank you for your feedback. We'll try and improve the situation. We're sorry to see you go, but we want to make sure that we improve the situation. Then they leave in a positive light. You see, if you just sort of brush them under the carpet, they're going to leave and they're going to definitely put negative reviews. Exactly.
Yeah, I think there's also one interesting, like if you go to a good restaurant and you have a really good meal,
yes,
you're most likely not going to review them. You just say, oh, great meal. Let's just go, and probably just tell my friends about it. But if it's a bad meal, or you go on reviews and everything, say, oh, this is bad, 1 star. Post on my Facebook, I had the worst meal in my life.
Actually, okay, so I would do it a bit differently. Yes, I would. If I get a bad service, for example, yes, I would complain about it, blah blah blah. But if you are really, really good, and I've done this numerous times, if you are really, really good, I'll make sure your boss knows. I will make sure your boss knows.
Okay, that's actually very good. Then the validation you come from.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you deserve that praise. You deserve that promotion if you get it. There was one time where I stayed in a hotel, and the staff was really, really excellent. And I when I checked out, I gave this. I took the iPad and I gave this really good review. The GM called me the next day. He said, I noticed that you gave this really good review on this person. I said, yes. And if you let her leave, I'll snatch her from you. because you better keep her, because she's really, really good.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, it's a trend, No, I know.
To me,
I know, it's in a fun way.
Yeah. So I just want to tell her. I just want to tell him that, look, don't make her leave.
Yeah,
because she's valuable.
Value this one, right? So that was from a client perspective. So now let's look from a freelancer's perspective. Let's say I'm someone who is want to be a freelancer, maybe have a full-time job, or aspiring freelancer, just put it that way. What tips do you have on building a portfolio that, resonates or even wows, clients that you have? And also, I think the second level I want to ask is, what are some of the in-demand skills that maybe we should look into as well? So let's answer the first one first.
Okay. So for aspiring freelancers, if you want to get into freelancing, and if you have a full-time job, and if you want to keep both, my advice for aspiring freelancers is do both at the same time. Do work full-time, but freelance part-time.
Okay.
Right? And then it's like starting a business. So when that income from your freelancing sort of equates to your full-time job, then maybe let the full-time job go. Right? Number one, to build your portfolio, don't look at the size of the project. Don't look at this is a 10,000 ringgit project. I should take this over this. Whatever small project that you can take it. Right? Even though it's a small amount, because you can add that into your portfolio. You can add your clients' feedback, reviews into your portfolio as well. So whatever project, just take it. And number one. Number two, focus on those. Don't take on too many. Yeah. Because as a freelancer, you're actually also a solopreneur. So you've actually got just two hands to work. And plus you got a full-time job, right? So work within your means. If you can only take 2 projects or maybe just 1 project, just take on that one. Yeah. And then take on another one after that. Don't overwhelm yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Number one. Number two. Number three, focus on that one specific skill. Don't do too many. So if you're a VA, if you do admin work, focus on admin work. Right? If you're a content writer, focus on content writing. Yeah. I know someone who is a content writer, but she focused on medical writing.
Oh, okay.
So that's a niche that someone can go into, right? So it's not just content writing, but content writing specifically for medical industry, right? Or cybersecurity. So focus on that one skill and that one niche. So don't take on too many work and don't take on too many skills, because you've got to be known
For one thing.
I
think this one I'd like to share from my own experience as well. So when I was doing VA, I literally did everything under the sun. So my tagline was, if you can teach me, I can do it.
Right.
So that was not sustainable whatsoever. Then after I moved into digital marketing and everything, B2B, I was trying to find my niche and everything. Recently, I think as of this year, I went full into the podcast.
Yep.
So that was my niche. That was the only thing I did. And I've seen it grow. Like that's only when people recognize you for this, people ask you for this. So I think that's very valid. So find what you are good at, niche down. That is where, the riches and the niches, right? That's
correct.
what they say.
Yeah, I believe in that.
Then the second question is, what kind of skills do we need to actually learn or upskill to be a good freelancer?
Okay. So my first answer to that will be AI.
AI.
Yes. As a freelancer, you want to work not just hard, but work smart.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're a content creator, or if you're an admin, or if you're an accountant, you want to be able to incorporate the AI as a tool to help you do the work faster or more efficiently. Yeah. So, excuse me, learn AI. It's not a loss. Yeah. Learn how to use it. In terms of specific freelancing skills, you can, learn things about cybersecurity. Okay, so what are the trends that are popular right now? You could become an AI consultant, for example. You could be an AI freelancer that helps companies improve their AI process, right? For example, you could also go into cybersecurity, which is currently, it's not really new, but it's currently
Booming,
growing. It's
yeah.
booming right now,
Correct.
right? So other than that, the other freelancing work that are also popular are accounting, which are what you have to ask yourself, what do companies need,
Mhm.
right? Um, is it accounting? Accountants companies always need.
Mhm.
Human resource companies always need.
Mhm.
Admin companies always need. But can you niche yourself a bit more? Because there are also a lot of freelancers in that space already.
Yeah.
So how can you niche yourself now? So can you niche yourself further in accounting? Like, do you use specific softwares,
Mhm.
right? Um, do you focus on tax, or do you focus on certain applications with the government?
Mm.
Things like that. Recently, we had companies that say, okay, do you have HR? Do you have HR people that focus on HRDC claims?
Mhm.
So very specific HR
Function.
niche function.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, you can definitely focus down.
Okay, so yeah, I think the end of the day, the focus is to focus.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Put it that way. All right. So before we end, I'd just like to ask, how can people reach out to you? And I think most importantly, I'd like to know what can they expect from the virtual connection.
Okay. So basically, people can reach us through our website, thevirtualconnexion.com. It's actually the virtual CONNEXION.
Yeah, I will put it down. Yeah, it will pop up. And
Okay.
it'll be in the description down below, so you can go check them out. Can click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're also on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. So you can check us out there. If you're interested to become a freelancer, we'll take your resume and we'll go through that interviewing and hiring process.
Right.
Yeah. And then basically our interviews are very informal.
Okay.
So there's no formality, just don't worry about the formalities. Yeah. And then we'll get back to them after a few days after the interview.
And like, let's say if they get accepted as a freelancer, what can they expect? How's the communication like, or or what do they have to prepare? What are you going to prepare on their behalf? Can you just share a bit about that?
Okay. So when a freelancer applies, firstly, send us your resume. Yeah. And if you have a portfolio, then send your portfolio as well.
Right.
Because you don't need a portfolio for all the jobs actually. Portfolio can, a graphic designer needs a portfolio, or a content writer, or a content creator needs a portfolio. Not all jobs need a portfolio. Now, once that happens, we'll interview you, and then after that interview, we have this assessment. We have a trial test, which tests specifically on your technical skills. After that, we'll let you know whether you are accepted or not. Because what we do is we don't actually accept everyone that applies to us.
Okay.
We actually accept about 3 to 5% of
applicants.
The reason is because what we sell to client is we sell freelancers that fit a certain criteria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Means the S-tier freelancers.
Yes.
All right.
So they need to be able to communicate. They need to be able to have client servicing skills, like I mentioned before. And then once they fit into it, we'll give them a feedback and say, look, you're accepted as a TVC freelancer. And then we'll have an agreement between them. Now, the agreement is non-exclusive, which means that they don't just have to rely on TVC to get work. They can go to Upwork.com, they can go to Freelancer.com, Fiverr,
wherever,
or LinkedIn, or wherever to get clients. That's fine with us. Now, when we do have a potential client, let's say you're a VA, we'll say, hey, Melanie, we'll give you a text and say, hey, Melanie, we have a potential client here, and they're from Singapore, and they're in the tourism industry. They're looking for someone who can do ABCD.
Okay.
Right? Are you interested? And then we will send them the person's or Melanie's profile.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the profile is basically we'll prepare the profile. Yeah. Profile is basically the person's CV in our version, our template. Yeah. Then we'll sit in during the interview. Yeah. After the interview, we'll ask both parties, the company and the freelancer, are you happy to work together? If the freelancer says, I don't think I'm comfortable, fine, no problem. But if the person says, yes, I'm happy to work with this client, and the client is happy to work with that freelancer, you're free to communicate directly to each other, with each other. Now, another scenario, let's say we give that same text to Melanie, and she says, hey, TVC, I'm actually working on 2 projects with TVC, but I'm actually working also on 2 other projects which I got outside of TVC. No problem. Then we'll pass on that project to another freelancer. And then 3 months later, Melanie comes back and say, hey, TVC, I've actually finished my 2 projects. I think I have space for 2 more projects from you guys. Then at the back end, we know that we can give 2 more clients to Melanie. So as long as there's this open communication, everything runs smoothly.
So that's why you value communication so much and clarity in your organization.
Yes.
And I think last one interesting thing that when we were discussing how to go about this podcast that came up was clients can actually request for change of freelancers.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Okay. So in our client agreement and with them, and when we explain how the process is, clients have or companies have the flexibility to say, TVC, I'm not happy with this person. And the person doesn't give good, doesn't reply quickly, or is not happy with the quality of the work. I'm not happy with this person. I would like to request a change. That is something that we built into that agreement, and also with the freelancer agreement, saying that the client has the right to replace the freelancer that they're working with, because we want them to. Number one, we do this on 2 reasons. Number one, we want the client to be happy with the person that they're working with, to be comfortable with the person that they're working with. Number 2, we also want the freelancer to maintain their quality, not just drop the quality at any point in time. We want them to say, look, if you drop your quality, the client can just ask for a change, right? So we want to maintain standards on both sides in that sense.
Okay. All right. That's something that I don't really see a lot because especially you have the mediation part of it. Right. So is there any last things you want to add before we wrap up today?
I think I've being a freelancer. Okay, so I just want to add on this remote work thing.
Yeah.
Right. I just want to say that not everyone can work remotely or work from home. It takes a certain set of discipline. So you've got to have a discipline to be able to work as a freelancer or a remote worker. Yeah. Because if you don't have the discipline and, you wake up at 11 o'clock every day to do work, I don't think you can work remotely. So you have to have that discipline. Number one, I would say if you want to work from home, don't work in your bed. Don't work in front of TV. Oh, you can work in front of TV, but you've got to have a corner at home where it's your office.
Yeah,
a dedicated corner, right? So and then mix it up with working outside, working at a cafe, working with friends who are like-minded, who are also freelancers, who also work remotely. That motivates you.
And with this, what sets you apart from, every other virtual assistant agency, less Upwork and all these kind of things on the market? What's different about the Virtual Connection?
Okay. So Upwork and freelancer.com, and you've heard of People Per Hour, you've heard of Fiverr.com. Those are platforms.
Right.
So when freelancers go to platforms, they're basically a marketplace.
Right.
Yeah. And it's where freelancers can go to get jobs, but you need to bid for those projects.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when you bid for those projects, they are competitive
Mhm.
because you could have 40 or 50 freelancers bidding for one project.
Right.
So at the end of the day, the freelancers are left scrambling for maybe you've got to go down, you got to floor down your pricing,
Mhm.
right? Because it's competitive. Now, what we provide is basically three things that set us apart from them. Number one, we're not a platform. When freelancers join us, they basically, number one, what we do for them is we get clients for them.
Mhm.
Yeah. We match them to clients that suit what they do.
Okay.
Yeah. So number two, we manage the project for them. So it's not like we say, okay, person A, you got this project, that's it. That's the end of our journey. No. Once we get them a client, we get them the interviews.
Mhm.
After the interview, we continue that journey on with them. The clients are able to communicate directly with the freelancer.
Mhm.
Freelancer manages the project. TVC, the Virtual Connection or TVC, manages from a helicopter standpoint.
Right.
Yeah. So we monitor the communication, we monitor their projects, but freelancers manage the work. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, in terms of payment, we help them to collect the payment for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, so freelancers sometimes, well, we've interviewed hundreds of freelancers over the past years. Now, one of the frustrations that freelancers say is that one thing is that clients sometimes pay them late.
Right.
Yeah, because they treat permanent staff and freelancers different. Yeah, permanent staff you have to pay on time,
Mhm.
but freelancers, the person's a solo person, like we can pay 2 months late or 3 months late. It's okay, like
It's
you
not
know.
part of our organization.
It's not part of our
Yeah,
organization. The person can handle. The person's
Right.
got a few clients,
Correct.
but we say no. We manage the payment part for them,
Mhm.
so that if clients pay late, we pay the freelancers first.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that freelancers don't have to worry about the burden of if they manage 4 to 5 clients, they don't have to manage
The payment.
the payment part. They don't have to worry about bad paying clients.
Right. So you just focus as a freelancer in your that is under the virtual connection. You just need to focus on your work.
Correct.
Right. And then you have to figure out the admin work, and the rest you will deal with the clients.
Yes. Just to add one more is that in a sense of if the client starts to become difficult to handle,
Okay.
we can become their mediator.
Right.
On behalf of the client and also on behalf of the freelancer.
Mhm.
So freelancers can say, hey, TVC, I've got this client, they're always asking me to work longer hours, asking to do things that are beyond my JD. So we can become the mediator and bring all parties together
Mhm.
and say, look, can we find the middle ground?
Right. Right.
Right? So freelancers don't have to be alone.
Mhm.
They have us to back them up.
Right. Thank you so much, Izzat, for coming on.
You're most
All right.
welcome.
So if there's any questions you'd like to ask us, you can put it in the comments down below, or you can just visit their page, The Virtual Connection. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, ciao.